What exactly is President Trump's position on China? As a candidate, he made his feelings known.
China's killing us.
China's massive theft of American jobs. You didn't even know China was a problem until I came along.
And then at times it feels like Trump is even tougher on America's allies
The EU treats us very, very unfairly, very badly.
than its adversaries.
We look forward to doing very well with China and getting along with China.
His views towards the People's Republic have been, well, hard to pin down. In his first term, President Trump invited Xi Jinping to Mar-a-Lago, serving him the most beautiful slice of chocolate cake you've ever seen. But that didn't stop him from launching a trade war the next year. So what's happening now in Trump 2.0? After a pre-inauguration call, Beijing optimistically declared the two superpowers could become partners and friends. Trump himself often calls Xi a brilliant guy and praises their great relationship. He reversed his position on the TikTok ban, issued lower tariffs on China than on Canada and Mexico, and dodged Taiwan questions. Yet Trump constantly complains that China takes advantage of the U.S. He's limited Chinese investment in American technology and critical infrastructure, citing national security, and his administration says it's pulling back from Europe to focus on the Pacific. And Trump's warming relations with Russia are not just about Ukraine, they're also about China, moving toward Moscow to try to isolate Beijing. Nixon's Cold War playbook in reverse. Ultimately, Trump sees the world more in terms of spheres of influence, where great powers carve out territories and dictate terms at their will. On one hand, that could mean bad news for Taiwan, but on the other, the US will likely be more aggressive in pushing China out of its own backyard. Trump is telling allies close to home they need to break from the PRC, criticizing China's factories in Mexico and activity in the Panama Canal. He's also stacked his cabinet with China hawks like National Security Advisor Mike Waltz and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who is actually sanctioned by the Chinese Communist Party.
The Communist Party of China is the most potent and dangerous near-peer adversary this nation has ever confronted.
So where does the relationship go from here? Trump could cut a deal with Beijing, but he also appears much more willing to double down on tariffs and ramp up U.S. military activity in the Pacific. How the Trump administration navigates the relationship will have massive implications, and not just for trade, but for AI, for climate, for nuclear proliferation, and the balance of global power. China and the United States are the world's two biggest powers, and the stakes, they couldn't be higher.